So I'm like, well, I'm going to have to speak my truth, but I'm also going to protect you. So if I got to look like the adulterous wife to make sure you're good, I'm going to do it.
Y'all.
You think this is about her. It's not. It's about him. Let's take a look at Will Smith. Will Smith, in his book, he explains how he had a very, I'll say, tough relationship with his father, where he will go out of his way to try to please his father and also please other people. The way that Will Smith describes himself, to me, it sounds like someone that has codependency personality disorder. So what is codependency personality disorder? A person enables another person's self-destructive behavior. Does it sound to you that Will Smith was enabling this person? Enabling Jada Pinkett Smith's toxic behavior? Of course he was. Of course. Codependents tend to be in relationships with those who are narcissistic, right? So people who have narcissistic personality disorder tend to be, on average, most of the times, a narcissist will choose anyone that just gives them narcissistic supply, but narcissists and codependent personality types tend to be together, whether in intimate relationships or in business relationships. It doesn't really matter, but they tend to end up together. Sounds like to me that was the dynamic that was going on between Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Past behavior is the best indicator for future behavior. So Jada Pinkett Smith's mother was a heroin addict. That tells you right there that she was neglected. Neglect is the second worst thing that could happen to you as a child. The first thing is sexual abuse, but the second worst thing that could happen to you is neglect, okay? And parents that are drug addicts are obviously going to neglect their children. So what happens to children of parents that neglect them? Using drugs and alcohol or breaking the law, getting into dangerous relationships, difficulty with relationships later on in life. This is textbook stuff. So it says right here, trouble with relationships, right? Later on in life. Obviously, she has a lot of difficulty with Will Smith, with the relationship with her. She chose to be, another red flag here, dating a thug, right? If you date a thug, there's a problem there. Okay, so these are all also red flags. What type of men has she dated in the past? And she dated some guy also that she was so afraid of this guy that she went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and went to his son's room and hid under the child's bed to hide from him. Do you see any red flags there? Does that sound like a woman that's marriage material? Of course not. But Will Smith married her. Her father used to beat her mother. Okay, so think about this. If you're dating a woman that tells you that, well, my father used to beat my mother, that tells you right there, those bad traits of picking men that her mother had, she's gonna pass down to the child. Okay? Also, another problem that Jada had was she had an addiction to alcohol, drugs, and sex. The problem is, for most women that don't have a healthy, nurturing, positive, strong relationship with their father, because they never been held, they never been loved by their father, the only time that a woman like that is ever held is during sex. So which is why they have dysfunctions when it comes to having sex and become more promiscuous because of the result of that. So where am I going at with this? So not only do you need to know and understand the past upbringing of the person that you're dealing with, but you need to understand your own fucking demons. You need to understand your own past, your own biases. You understand those things by seeking self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is a deep understanding of yourself. It's not only a deep understanding of yourself, but it's also a deep understanding of the world, because when you have a better understanding of yourself, you have a better understanding of other people around you, right? You need to understand what's making you susceptible to not only attracting, but being attracted to people like this, right? This is not just things just don't happened to you? What happened is that you have no knowledge of yourself. You have no self-knowledge, and you probably dated someone that there were red flags were there in the beginning, but you were blind to the red flags because of your own lack of self-knowledge and your own past. But here's the thing. That a lot of people are afraid of self-knowledge, to look at themselves and say that, wow, is there something wrong with me? Could it be that I'm dysfunctional, that I had a dysfunctional past? And that is very difficult for people to do. It's very difficult for people to look at the mirror and say that I'm the fucking problem here. Especially when there's a consistent pattern. If you look at your past, there's a consistent pattern of that same behavior that always manifests. And it will continue to manifest until you truly understand yourself and know what's going on internally with you, which is what happened to Will Smith, right? So with that, I'm gonna bring this video to an end. This is JP, not Morgan. You can sleep if you want.